Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. I've just returned from a flea market, and well, I found some interesting stuff that I thought I would share with you, and maybe share some advice too about when you're shopping at flea markets, what to look for, and what's the best way to advantage yourself in the negotiations in a flea market. And I'm not sure if I have a lot to say about that second part. These were relatively inexpensive. Was not looking for them, which maybe that's why you tend to find the things that you find at flea markets and purchase them and consider them a bargain, because the first tip that I have is that most of the time you want to search for something that just seems out of place. And I went to a rather large flea market this morning. It's something that's a summertime pleasure or pastime, as you look to while away some of the hot days. And what you find in these flea markets oftentimes is vendors that have done house cleanouts, have done estate sale buying, have done buying in bulk, and they really don't know what they have, or they really don't care what they have. They're just interested in turning things around. So I would say one of my first tips is look for what's out of place or unusual on a vendor's table. If a vendor's got all kinds of things like Matchbox toys and collectibles, and then sitting over on the side he might have a fishing reel, that's out of place. If a vendor has a whole bunch of t-shirts and used clothing and has some fishing lures or a tackle box there, that's out of place. And most of the time it says that that's not what they specialize in. They're not looking for retail prices or eBay prices, if you will, on some of the stuff. And it also usually represents kind of a bargain or a bargain opportunity for you if you know what you're looking for. So kind of when you're out there searching around, don't just run to the guy who's got the racks full of rods and reels and the table all set up with terminal tackle and the like. Yeah, you can get some good purchases there, and you can certainly probably find what you want, but are you going to get the best deal in the flea market or on the lot? Probably not. So just keep your eyes open for what looks like it's out of place, and have the conversation with the vendor. See if the vendor is open to discussions. Feel them out in terms of what the pricing or the asking point is, and then well, see if you can work a deal. That's how you can get some of the best deals out there. Well, before we continue, I want to take a moment here to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. If you like fishing reels, if you like to learn how to service them, if you like to learn a little bit about who manufactured them, how they're used, when they were made, things like that, well, that's what I try to cover, in addition to the basic how to take it apart and service it kind of a video. So subscribe, that way you won't miss what's coming up. You'll help my channel out in terms of getting broader distribution. You'll help yourself out in terms of giving you the opportunity to learn about a couple of those things. Well, let's talk about that first one that was out of place. And that's a box here of fishing lures. When I was walking around the flea market, interestingly enough, I wasn't looking for fishing stuff. I was looking for some plumbing things. I was looking for, among other things, a check valve for a sump pump. Go figure, right? And I came upon a table that had some older plumbing equipment and the likes, and then a lot of newer stuff, the PVC elbows and union joints and things like that. And sure enough, there was a check valve for a sump pump. Go figure, right? Well, what was out of place? On the side of his table, he had a box of lures. And so we had a little bit of a conversation about, you know, what was he selling? Was he selling them by the piece? Was he selling the box? Where did they come from? What does he know about them? And so on. And turns out that, well, he had just acquired these as part of a yard sale that he was watching, and didn't even know what the values of it was. He kind of arrived late and bought everything that the person had, including that plumbing stuff that was on the table. And well, he was looking to turn around. He told me he would want $2 plug for these. That's fair. That's more than fair by today's standards. If you're going to go buy a plug, you're probably going to pay anywhere from $10 to $20 depending on what the plugs are. And well, it worked out for both of us. He got I think it was $15. Actually got $20 between the check valve and the plugs that I bought. I got the plugs and I got his fancy carrying case too. Go figure, right? What are they? Well, these are plugs that we use for striped bass. These are big poppers and swimmers. There's a jointed one. They have the single hook on the back, which I think is wonderful for catch and release. We do a lot of catch and release. In this case, they've removed the middle one. A lot of times that middle one is not the one that they strike. And a lot of times, well, when you're trying to unhook one, the other one hooks you, right? So that's always kind of an issue. And I may wonder, I might do the same here. I'm thinking probably on these, I'll probably just keep them in my tackle box. Funny enough, a lot of people say, you know, why do you go with the dark colored lures? And as you can tell, we got a black back here, purple bottom on this one. Well, fish normally are looking up at the waters, and this actually shows better when they're looking from underneath, looking up with the sun. They can discern the form. Dark colors also work very well in murky water. Kind of a surprise. You would think, okay, if it's murky water, I want to go with something light. Actually, the dark colors work better. And surprisingly, the dark colors work better at night. Go figure, right? Well, we had 2 of these. And then we have several of them in a fancy carrying case. Now, I'm always looking forward to finding these so that I can get these to my grandson, who likes to repaint and restore these lures. He's taken up airbrushing, and he's taken up how to do the screening on them, how to create the scales, how to do those kinds of things, and he's done very well. So I've always looked, as I've been in the flea markets, to find if that's something that is out there that I can pass along to him. Here's another one that doesn't look quite as good as the other one, right? It's been hit a couple of times for sure. This one has the front treble hook, and I'm not a fan of treble hooks. They seem to cause more damage than they do good. I may either put a single hook on there or may just do what was done on the other one, just eliminate that one completely. There is a lot of flaking going on here. I'll leave that to him to figure this out and get that restored. This one again is a diver with a broad bill. Here's a popper. I personally like poppers. And again, we've lost the metal flake in that's on the side of these. He can restore these, I'm sure. Again, the same setup. We have the big broad hook in the back, the treble hook in the front. I'm not sure on the age of these. A lot of these that have the ported centers to them are older reels. Plugs. Here's a beauty. I like this one. I think this is probably some kind of an epoxy finish on it. It's chipped here. Probably make up the story. What hit this one, right? Its chances are they hit this hook and the bite bought that off, right? This is just a beautiful little plug. Not sure who made them. None of these have the names on them. And here's a good old popper as well, pencil popper, all good. And he'll be able to work his way through that. So for $2 a piece, I think we did okay on these. And I know I did okay by my grandson because he's got the opportunity to go learn a little bit more about how to improve his skills in painting lures. And if he messes up, so what? And he also has a nice carrying case. Well, what else did I find while I was out there? Sometimes I kind of shy away from this stuff, but this one just looked too good to be true. They wanted $2 for this. It's braided line. It comes from a company called Rikimoru. Not sure where that's made or what it is or what, but I do know that originally this was a lot of braided line. And where's the piece here? This is Chinese made, 1,094 yards of 20-pound braid. Well, you know when you're buying braided line what it costs for a 100-yard pack, no less a 1,000-yard pack. This is 20 pounds. It's still got a lot of line left on it. For $2, I think I did okay. 20 pounds is a good braided line to use inshore in the ocean. It's nice and light. You can use it on a variety of things like your ambassador reels. You can use it on low-profile bait casting reels. You can use it on spinning reels. If you're going to be using a line like that, for sure, what you want to learn about and how to do is to tie the fluorocarbon leaders on there. You do not want to tie your lures directly to the braid. Here's the last one I found, and I'm a sucker for these. I have had these types of pliers for years. These are basically lineman's pliers. You have the little twist part on it. This one was made by Sargent and Company out of New Haven, Connecticut, made in the USA. back in the day, right? These are just beautiful, well-made pliers. And, well, it's actually, somebody has stamped their name into it, Bernard, on both sides. That's kind of shows you a little bit about how tools have evolved, right? This is one that you had pride of ownership in, made in the USA. The fellow certainly wanted to make sure that he retained it by putting his name on there. Probably worked in a shop where tools were on the bench and people grabbed tools from time to time. He certainly wanted to make sure that he had his identified. There was a time when you took care of your tools, when you certainly had the opportunity to maintain them and expected them to last a long time, well before the time of just cheap tools that became disposables and nobody really cared about, right? If tools could talk just like fishing reels could talk, I wonder what this one would say, and I wonder who Bernard was. But there you go. So that one was that one completed my purchases, and hopefully I've passed along some information that'll help you while you're out there in the flea markets, garage sales, yard sales, wherever you may be, wherever you may find the opportunity to spend some time looking through what folks have for sale and seeing if there's anything there that might interest you. Oh, I hope you're interested in this video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Before I leave, I want to thank the first responders, police, fire, safety, rescue, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. Day in and day out, I want to say thanks to them. I really appreciate everything it is that they do and their career choice and dedication to task. I want to thank you for watching. Hope this has proved valuable to you. I hope that you've enjoyed it and that you keep watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.